Hey, what's up everybody? Clifton here with CliftonWP. Welcome back to the channel. In this tutorial, you're going to learn how to create a custom affiliate product review template for your affiliate website or your affiliate blog. And we're going to be using Kadence to do it. Specifically, we're going to be using the Kadence Theme Pro add-on and Kadence Blocks Pro to build out our custom product layout. And this is a great addition to any affiliate website or affiliate blog that you have. You're also going to be learning how to power your product template using custom fields, also using dynamic content to build it out and add additional sections to it anytime that you want. So if you guys are ready to learn how to create a custom affiliate product review template using Kadence, then let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, so let's quickly go over what we're going to be creating here. So what you're looking at right now is the affiliate product review template. This is a custom template that we built from scratch, and I'm going to show you exactly how to be able to do this. Now, our template has a title area over here, and then it has an intro section where we're introducing the product. There's a button that has an affiliate link behind it. So this is where you would place your affiliate link. And then we have a ratings section over here where we've rated the ease of use, the price and value, features, and support. And it comes with a number rating as well as a star rating that corresponds to that number rating. And then we have our content, table of contents. And then we also have a section over here. There's a call to action section that shows the rating again, shows the overall score, and another call to action. And then we also have the pros and cons section over here where it lists all the pros and the cons of the product, some additional content, and then it runs right into the footer where the review ends. The great thing about this layout is that everything that you see here, or actually the ratings aspect of everything that you see here, is actually controlled with custom fields. Okay, and this is a custom post type. This is a reviews custom post type. So it is separate from your pages and your posts. This way you can write reviews the same way and then fill in a few criteria and have it automatically show up on the front end. So let's take a look at the back end of this and how this works. And then when we're done with that, we're going to rebuild and recreate this entire layout from scratch. So if I click on edit review, it'll take me back to the editing interface for our reviews custom post type. And what you'll notice here is that we only have content on the back end, meaning we only have the textual information back here. So you're going to be able to add your own content. You can add anything you want really here because we're doing this with the Gutenberg blocks. So images and videos and so on can be added to your content. But it's the only part that you actually have to do. The rest of it is controlled via product review fields. So you would upload an image for the logo of or the image that represents the product. And then you have your intro paragraph. Then we have these fields. These are custom fields where you fill in the necessary information. And the ratings are actually controlled with this slider over here. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to create this slider. And basically whatever you slide it to is what will correspond to the rating and the stars that you see on the front end. So let's say we're reviewing Kadence. And we're going to give Kadence full 5 stars because it is actually that amazing. So I'm going to give it 5 stars all across the board. And then the overall score will be 5. And then here we have some pro reasons where we've listed over here. And the reasons only show up if it has something in the field. If it has nothing in there, then it won't show. Okay, and we have con reasons. So let's say we added 2 more con reasons. Actually, 3 more. Okay, and now we have completed our review. Go ahead and click on update. And when we view the product review on the front end, you'll notice that now our stars are full 5 stars, as well as the number values are now 5 at the ratings. And then it's also replicated here as well. So full 5 stars, overall score is 5. And then you can see we now have our pros and cons where we have more cons than we did before, just as an example. And our content looks great. So now that you've seen what we're going to be building, without further ado, let's go ahead and recreate this from scratch. Before we dive in, if you are new to the channel and you like in-depth step-by-step tutorials, then please go ahead and subscribe to the channel and remember to hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I release a tutorial. And if you like this tutorial and you enjoy it, do me a big favor, leave a comment in the comment section below. Go ahead and also share the tutorial with other people who may benefit from it. And if you have any questions at all about Kadence or about this tutorial or WordPress in general, or if there's something specific that you would like to learn, then go ahead and put that in the comment section and I'll do my best to answer your question or create a tutorial around what you are asking. Okay, all right. Without further ado, let's go ahead and recreate this product affiliate template. Okay, so here we have a fresh install of WordPress 6.1. This is the latest version of WordPress, and what you're looking at is the default WordPress 2023 theme that comes when you first install WordPress. What we're going to be doing next is we're going to go ahead and install the actual theme we want to use, which is Kadence. We're going to install the free version, and then we're also going to install Kadence Blocks, which is the Gutenberg Blocks add-on that allows us to have page builder features for building out our pages. Then after that, we're going to go ahead and install the pro versions of Kadence, which is going to be the Kadence Pro Theme add-on and the Kadence Blocks Pro add-on as well, so we can have all the tools that we need to create our custom affiliate product template. Now, if you don't have the pro versions of Kadence, I highly recommend and highly suggest that you pick that up, especially now, because there is an absolute great deal going on for Black Friday, and you can pick it up at a discounted rate. If you don't have it, it's very easy to get. Just go to CliftonWP.com/Kadence. That will take you directly to their website. It is an affiliate link, so anything you purchase on the website going through that link generates a commission that goes to support the channel. And so if you do that, thank in advance for doing that. It's absolutely not required to do it that way, but I would appreciate it if you did. Okay, so they are having a Black Friday sale. You can get up to 40% off through November 29th. This is an absolute amazing deal. If you click on shop now, it will take you to the page where you can see all the pricing. And as of this tutorial, there's about 3 days left. So we have here 3 bundles. There's the essential bundle, which is now at $89, and the full bundle, which is $131.40. So these are all 40% off right now. And then there's a lifetime bundle. So normally lifetime bundle is about $6.99. You make a one-time payment and you get access to all the Kadence tools and Kadence plugins, including their future products, for just one price. So you don't have to pay every single year. It's an enormous value. Okay, and it's discounted at $200 off, so you can get it for $4.99. This is the one that I have, but to follow along with this tutorial, any one of these will do. You can do this one here, and this will bill you every year. So annually, you'll pay for this one, but you'll also get access to all the tools and all the amazing future products that they're going to be creating as well. Okay, so feel free to come over here, figure out the one that works best for your situation, and then go ahead and pick that up. The most important thing is that you're going to need the Kadence Blocks Pro and the Kadence Theme Pro add-on to be able to follow along with this tutorial, and basically any one of these bundles will provide what you need to be able to do that. Okay, all right, so now let's go back to our tutorial and let's go ahead and install the Kadence theme and the Kadence blocks. So let's go over here to the dashboard, and then you're going to go to plugins, and we're going to click on add new, and then we're going to search for Kadence blocks. Okay, there it is. Click on install now and activate. Great, so now we have it. Next, we're going to install our theme. So go to appearance, themes, click on add new, and we're going to go ahead and do a search for Kadence. Here it is. Click on install and activate. Okay, so now we have our theme activated. Now let's go ahead and check to make sure that it is. I'm going to go ahead and view the front end of the website, and here we can now see that our website is now themed with the Kadence default layout. Okay, so what I want to do now is just a little bit of housekeeping. I'm going to go back to appearance, themes, and I'm going to get rid of the themes that I'm not using. So for instance, the 2020 theme. So this is just here taking up space. We don't really need it, so let's get rid of that. And we'll get rid of this one as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and leave the default 2023 theme in place just in case I need to switch between themes to do some debugging. So far we've installed our theme, and we've also installed the free version of Kadence blocks. Now let's go ahead and install the Pro version, which is going to be the Kadence Pro theme add-on, and we're going to install the Kadence Blocks Pro. To do this, I'm going to go to my Kadence account, and I'm going to go ahead and download the Kadence Pro plugin, and then I'm also going to download the Kadence Blocks Pro. So when you have the full bundle in here, you can kind of see all the tools that you have access to, and any future ones that they release, you also get those as well. All right, now that I have that, I'm going to go back to my website, and I'm going to go to Plugins, Add New, Upload Plugin, choose File, and we're going to grab the Kadence Pro, install, and activate. And then I'm going to click on Add New again, Upload Plugin, choose File, and we're going to upload the Kadence Blocks Pro and install. Okay, so now that everything's now installed, next we need to just add our license key. And once we add the license key, then we are ready to go. Okay, so I've gone ahead and activated my license key, and under Appearance and Kadence, that's where you'll be when you see this dashboard. And here are the basic features that come with the free version of the Kadence theme. But once you get the Pro add-on, then these are all the Pro add-ons that are available to you. You can go ahead and turn all these on if you want to, but for the purposes of this tutorial, we're really only going to be using the hooked elements. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on, and then that basically sets me up to be able to create the product review template for our website. Okay, so up next, what we're going to do is we're going to actually start that process of creating the product review template. Okay, so if we go to the front end of the website, one of the things that you'll notice is that we just have the default Kadence theme installed, and it just has this default layout. Now, since we're going to be building a affiliate product review layout template in our site, we're definitely going to need an affiliate website to be able to do that. One of the great benefits of having Kadence is that you can also have access to starter templates. And Kadence has one of the best libraries of starter templates on the market today. And there are free options and also pro options available. If you have the Pro add-on installed for Kadence, you get access to those pro options of those starter templates. Now, typically when you install Kadence, there's usually a prompt up here that tells you to install the starter templates. But if you've deleted it somehow, like I have for some reason, it's very easy to get back to. Just go to Plugins, click on Add New, and we're going to do a search for Kadence templates. When you do that search, you'll see the starter templates by CadenceWP over here. Just click on Install Now, activate, okay, and you'll see that you have the Kadence starter templates in place. So you should, by the time you're done installing the plugins, you should have at this point the Kadence Blocks Pro extension, the Kadence Blocks Free extension, the Kadence Pro Premium add-on, and then the Kadence Starter Templates. And then if we click on View Template Library, you can also access the templates by going to Appearance, Kadence, and Starter Templates. And then you'll see all these beautiful templates. What's great about the Kadence Starter Templates is that they're all full-blown websites. So every component of the website is actually built out for you. And you can go ahead and add on, make changes, and completely make it your own. And then there are also layouts that are built for different types of niches, right? So you've got business niches, landscaping, barbershops, e-commerce, pretty much everything that you can think of. It's a really, really comprehensive library of beautiful starter templates that allow you to basically just launch into building your website very quickly. Okay, so now for the purposes of this tutorial, since we're talking about an affiliate website, we're going to select this affiliate blog template over here because it pretty much has everything that we need. And then all we need to do basically is add the review template to it. So I'm going to go ahead and select this one. When you select it, you're given the option to make changes to your color scheme and your fonts. And then over here, it tells you any required plugins that you need, which we all have all of them installed. So I'm very happy with the color scheme. I'm happy with the layout and everything, the way this looks. And so I'm going to go ahead and install this template. And to do that, you have over here under the import options to install a single page or a full site. I want the full site. So I'm going to go ahead and click on full site. And then over here, I'm just going to click on start importing. Okay, our import is complete. We're going to go ahead and click on finished, view your site. And we're now on the front end of the website. And in just a few minutes, you actually have a full-blown affiliate website structure installed for you. All you need to do now at this point is change the logo, change your color scheme, and then change the subject matter and add whatever additional pieces of content that you need. and you are ready to go. All right, so now we're going to leave this the way that it is. Maybe in a later tutorial, we will build an affiliate website from scratch. But what I'm about to show you is part of building out an affiliate website, which is going to be the review pages that you create. Okay, because currently right now, if we look at any of these tips or any of these what we would consider affiliate blog posts, right? If I click on any one of these, you can see that it all kind of just looks like a blog. Right? So these are more like blog posts than affiliate review pages. What we want to create is a completely dedicated product review page, kind of like I showed in the beginning of this tutorial. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with that process right now. Okay, so we're going to create our custom affiliate product reviews template in 5 very simple steps. The first step is to go ahead and create the layout, basically what our reviews post is going to look like. The second step is for us to go ahead and create the reviews custom post type. So currently we don't have a reviews custom post type in this website. We're going to go ahead and add one. The third step is to go ahead and apply our layout to a Kadence element and turn that into the template for the reviews post type. The fourth step is for us to go ahead and create our custom fields that we're going to be filling out when we create a review so that it displays all the pertinent information on the front end. And then the fifth and final step is to go ahead and apply those custom fields to the reviews template. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with step 1, which is to create the layout. To create our layout, we're going to go to New, and you can select Page from here, from the admin toolbar, or we can go to the dashboard, go to Pages, click on Add New, and we'll be in the editing interface for a page. Now we're creating our review layout inside of a page so that when we do create that custom post type, we're then going to take this layout and we're going to apply it to a Kadence element, which is essentially going to give us the template that we need to assign to that review page. So this is purely for the design purposes of that review page. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and title this Product Review Layout. Okay, then we're also going to go ahead and set up our page by going to the page settings, which is this icon over here on the right. And then we're going to disable the page title. And then we're going to select for the page layout that we want a full width page layout. The content style will be unboxed and the content vertical padding will be disabled. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and start inserting our structure. So click on the WordPress block inserter, which is this blue plus sign here. If you click on that, it will show you all the blocks that are available to you. We want the Kadence row layout block. So I'm just going to select that and drag it into the page. Okay, and we want a 1-column layout. All right, and then we also want this 1-column layout. We want to set up the inside column to be centered. To do that, just go ahead and make sure that you are in the block settings, which is this cogwheel over here. Go to the structure settings for this row, and we're going to set the content max width to be inherited from the theme. So the theme has a content max width of 1290 pixels. If I toggle this on, it will automatically center the inside column at 1290 pixels for me. Okay. All right, then next I also want to add some padding to the top and bottom of this and also add a background. So I'm going to go ahead and select the row, move over to the right, open up the padding and margin, and we're going to change this to 85 pixels on the top and 85 pixels on the bottom. And then under the background settings, we're going to set a background color, and we want this really light beige background. Then on the inside, we're going to go ahead and add the title for our blog post. So I'm just going to click on the plus sign, and I'm going to select advanced text, and I want to go ahead and center this now. And then this is going to hold the title for our review post. So let's just call this first one Kadence the best Gutenberg WordPress framework. All right, now we have our title. Next, I want to save some space for our meta information. So this is the author name, the date, and possibly a comments link if you want. So I'm going to go ahead from here and just hit the enter key. That's going to create a new block line for me. And then from here, I'm going to do a // and if you start typing advanced, you will see all the options for some of the blocks you've already used. And for this one, we want the advanced text. Now, every time you select advanced text, the Kadence advanced text, by default, the HTML tag the heading tag that it has is an H2 tag. But in this case, because this is for our meta information, I'm going to go ahead and change that to a paragraph tag, which will give me a much smaller piece of text. And from here, we can just go ahead and just type this in manually for now by CliftonWP, and we'll do the date, and we'll also center this text. So now our heading structure is now complete, and we can now proceed with building out the rest of the structure. In this next section, we're going to be introducing the product. So we need a section that can accommodate a logo and an intro, a button, and a little bit of text. So we're going to go ahead and click on the plus sign over here, which will allow us to add a new block row. We're going to select the row layout. This row layout is going to have 2 columns. And similar to what we did in the first one, we're going to go over here to the right, make sure that you're in the block settings, scroll down to structure settings. We're going to go ahead and set the content max width to inherit from theme. And then over here on the padding and margin, we're going to do the same thing as we did in the first one. We're going to add 85 pixels of padding to the top and 85 pixels of padding to the bottom. Then here where we have the columns, I'm going to go ahead and slide this over. Just click right in the middle there and just slide it over to about 25-75. The left hand part of the column is going to contain our picture or our logo for the product, and then the right hand will contain the content or the introductory content for the product. Okay, next let's go ahead and start adding those elements. So I'm going to click on the plus sign here, and I'm going to search for advanced image. We're going to select this one right here. This advanced image is from Kadence. Go ahead and click on the block, and then we're going to select an image, and we want to upload a logo. Okay, and so here's our logo, and then on this side we'll have our introductory content, and this is just going to be some lorem ipsum text. So click on the plus sign, we're going to select advanced text. We're going to go ahead and change it over to a paragraph, so have a paragraph tag, and then I'm just going to grab some lorem ipsum text from here, just something to hold the place, and I'm going to paste it in there. Okay, next we're going to have a button, which is our call to action. Do a /, search for advanced button, and we're going to say get Kadence today. All right, and we're going to go ahead and style this according to our color palette. So I'm just going to select the button, move over here to the right, go to button settings, and click on button inherit styles, and we're just going to select theme. Okay, now this is where your affiliate link is going to go for the product that you are doing the review for. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and set this over to be on the left hand side. All right, and so far that looks great. I'm going to go ahead and click on publish, and what I want to do is I just want to check and see how this looks on the front end, because I'm sure there's some adjustments that we'll have to make. So as I view the page, okay, so far it actually looks pretty good. Everything is spaced out really nicely and everything looks very balanced. Awesome. Next, we need to add a little bit of text here to the bottom, letting the reader know about any pricing or any special notes that they need to take about this product. So I'm going to go over here, click on edit page, and we're going to click on the button layout over here, and I'm going to click on this vertical ellipsis with the options. Click on that, and I'm going to select insert after. That's going to give me a new block line directly below the button. Then I'm going to do an advanced text, and I want to change this over to be a paragraph. I'll use the short menu there, and then we're going to go ahead and add our text. That looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and bold this so it stands out a little bit more. Excellent. I'm going to click on update. And now we are done creating our introductory section. If we look at this on the front end, so far this is coming together very well. Okay, so next we're going to create the rating section for our review post layout here. So let's go ahead and click on edit page to get back to the editing interface. And we're going to scroll down, and right below the section here where we've created the intro section, we're going to click on this plus sign to add a new block row. Select the row layout, and we want this time a 4-column row because we're going to have 4 ratings. So the 4-column row is right over here, and we're going to go ahead and select that row, move over to the right where you have the block settings, scroll down to the structure settings, and once again we're going to go ahead and set this content max width to inherit from the theme at 1290 pixels. That's going to bring everything nice and into the center. Then I'm going to go to the padding and margin section, and I'm going to go ahead and set the padding to 85 pixels on the top and 85 pixels on the bottom. All right, excellent. Now all we need to do is add our element here for the ratings. Okay, so each rating section is going to have an icon. It's going to have a title. It'll have a number rating and a star rating. So let's do the first one first. Click on the plus sign to go ahead and add a block. And inside of here, we're going to search for an icon. We want the Kadence icon, so go ahead and select that one. And we're going to go ahead and change this icon to a different one. So over here on the right hand side under icon settings, we're going to X out the icon that's there now, and I'm just going to go ahead and search for smile. There's a nice smiley icon there. And then below this icon, I want to go ahead and add what this rating is about. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the vertical ellipsis, which will open up the options for me. And I'm going to click on insert after. Okay, that'll give me a new block line. And in here, I'm going to go ahead and add a heading. So we're going to go ahead and do a / advanced text is what we're looking for. And I'm going to go ahead and center this. And let's go ahead and change this to an H3 tag. And we're going to call this ease of use. And I'm just going to do some formatting for the typography here. So I'm going to click on the mini menu here for typography settings. And what I'm going to do is I want to transform this into uppercase. And now I can see there's a lot of gap between the icon here and the text. So let's see if that actually reflects on the front end that same way. I'm going to click on update and we're going to go to view page. And if we look at it, yeah, there's a considerable amount of gap happening here. So go ahead and click on edit page. We're going to go back, select that heading, move over to the right hand side, scroll down until you see the spacing settings. And under the spacing settings, I'm going to set the margin on the top to 5 pixels. By default, Kadence has some margins set around the headings. You can change this in the default settings, but for now we just have to be mindful of that and change it accordingly for ourselves. Next, we need to add our number rating. Okay, so I'm just going to put my cursor right on the last letter of that heading, and I'm going to hit the enter key to give me a new block line. And then I'm going to do a / search for advanced text. Here it is. And then we're going to go ahead and center this as well. And here, I'm just going to put in a 5 rating. So 5 out of 5. Now I want this to be a little bit larger so it's more prominent. So I'm going to go to the typography settings. You can either do that here or you can do that here in the mini menu. This will open up the typography settings for you. And we're going to set this to 45. Okay. And what I want to do is I want to minimize the spacing here as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this title here. I'm going to come over here and I'm actually going to give this an actual size. So we're going to set this to be 24 pixels in size. And then the line height is going to be 30 pixels. Okay, it's going to give us a nice distribution here. And then for the 5 out of 5 number rating on the right hand side, I'm going to set the font size to 50. So it's nice and big. And the line height will be 56. Okay, then click on update. And so far that looks pretty good. Okay, I still feel like I need this rating to be a little bit bigger. So let's go ahead and adjust that. So let's go up 4 pixels. So I'm going to go 54. And for the line height, we'll make that 60. Excellent. Next, we need to do the star rating. So again, I'm going to put my cursor at the end of that heading, hit the enter key. That'll give me a new block line. I'm going to do a / and this time I'm going to search for icon again. Okay, it's going to give me an icon right there. And I'm going to change this icon to a star. So I'm going to close. I'm going to X out of the one that is there by default. And I'm going to search for star. And the particular star that I want is one like this, but I want one that's filled in. So I can just click the arrow here to see the other options that are available. Whoops, close that by accident. And here's the star that I'm looking for. Okay, so we're going ahead and select this star. I'm going to make the icon size about half the size here, so 25 pixels. Okay, and then we're going to change the color to a yellow color. So just select a yellow, a nice golden yellow like that. All right, and our star looks pretty good. So now we need 5 of them because we've got a rating of 5 out of 5. So on the right-hand side over here for the icon, for the star icon, where it says number of icons, we're going to increase this to 5. And that'll multiply our stars for us. Okay, so now this is looking much better. Now we need to go ahead and set this out or lift it up from the page so that it is distinct. So I'm going to go ahead and select the section here. And when you have a hard time selecting a section, just go ahead and open this up in list view. Open up the row layout, and I want to select that first section. And that blue border tells me that that section is now selected. If I go over here to the right hand side, what I want to do here is I want to add a background to this and some padding. Okay, so I'm going to come over here to background settings, and I'm going to set the background color to this light background color that we have here. And then I also want to add some padding to it. So we're going to set a padding. Let's actually set a padding of 40 pixels all around. That looks good. And then what we want to do is we want to add some shadow to that section. So I'm going to come down here to border styles. I'm going to open up border styles, and I'm going to select the box shadow. We're going to increase this to 34 on the blur. And then for the border radius, I'm just going to close this out so it's all linked. And I'm going to set that to 8 pixels around. And then the other thing that I want to do, this blur is pretty stark. So I really want it to be more subtle. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go open up the color and start to reduce the opacity gradually until it's just barely there. There we go. Okay. Click on update. All right. And so far this looks really good. Okay. So now we can go ahead and replicate this across the other 3 columns and then just change the items on the inside. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select this column, click on the options ellipsis right here, and I'm going to click on copy block, and then I'm going to move over to the next column, add a paragraph into that column, and when I press Command V or Control V if you're using a PC, that's going to paste that whole section right in there. And I'm just going to repeat that process across the other 2 columns. So click inside of the column, select the paragraph block, press Command V or Control V if you're on a PC. All right, and that looks pretty good. I also want to add a little bit more spacing between the 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the entire row, move over to the right hand side, come over here to the column gutter, and we just want to add about 10 more pixels. So I'm going to select the wide 40 pixels. Now, all I need to do is change the information for each one. So we've got ease of use. So the next thing that we want here is going to be pricing or price/value. And then this third one is going to be our features. How do we rate the features? And this last one will be support. Then next we need to add different icons to match these. So for price and value, we'll probably want something that has some $ or money involved. So I'm going to close out this icon and let's just search for money, or better yet, dollar. Okay, let's grab this one. That looks good. And then for the features, I think a great way to show features as an icon will be something like a list. So I'm going to type list, and here's a nice list right over here. Let's use that one. Okay. And then for support, maybe something like a life ring. Good. So let's see. Do we have life? Yes, we do. So now we have our rating section. We've got our 5 stars, our number rating, and the criteria under which we are rating our affiliate product. Next, let's go ahead and add our content section where we're going to write the overview of our product, or the review of the product. And then we're also going to have a table of contents and then a call to action section on the right. So this is going to look kind of like a page that has a sidebar, but it's really just built out on the review post layout. So let's go ahead and do that. So go ahead and select that last row that we built that has all the ratings in it. And we're going to go ahead and click on the vertical ellipsis for options and click on insert after. Here we're going to go ahead and add a row. So you can just do a /, start typing row, and we want the cadence row. Okay, this time we're going to have a 2-column row, and just like we've done in the previous rows, we're going to move over to the right, go to structure settings. We want to go ahead and set the content max width to inherit from the theme at 1290 pixels. This time we're going to go ahead and drag the center of these columns over so that we have a 70-30 section here. So 70% on the left, 30% on the right. Then, as we've done before, for the padding and margin, we're going to set that to 85 on the top and 85 on the bottom. Next, we need to start adding some content on the left, and we want a table of content on the right and a call to action also on the right as well. So I'm going to come over here, I'm going to click on the plus sign, and over here we're going to go ahead and add an advanced text block, and we're going to call this subheading. Then we're going to click enter. We're going to add another advanced text block. This time we're going to set this one to be a paragraph, and then we're going to go ahead and paste in some placeholder text, and let's just add a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so we're going to want to duplicate this a few times. So I'm going to go ahead and just select both blocks, and the way you do that is you can click on one, hold down the shift key, click on the second one, and you would have now selected them both. All right, and then I can go ahead and click on the options here because it automatically sets them up as a group. And I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this a few times. Let's duplicate it about 7 times. So let's duplicate there, ellipsis, duplicate. Okay, great. So now we've completed that section. Next, on the right hand side, we're going to add a table of contents. Okay, now the way the table of contents works in Kadence is it looks at the content on the entire page, and you get to choose which headings are part of that table. So we'll go ahead and click on the plus sign, go ahead and do a search for table, and right here are the table of contents that we're looking for. Go ahead and click on that. All right, and you can see here it automatically sets up table of contents for us, and it's selecting every single heading that we have. So we have to tell it which headings apply and which ones do not. So over here on the right, we want to go ahead and toggle off the H1 headings. We only want H2 headings to be part of the table of contents. We're going to toggle off the ones that don't apply for the table of contents. So H1, we're going to go ahead and toggle that off. H3 we'll toggle off as well. Any H4s, H5s, and H6s. So only the H2s will apply. So over here we can already see we have some titles that are part of the table of contents that we don't want to be a part. So we don't want the ratings to be a part, and we don't want the review title to be a part of that as well. So we're going to scroll all the way up here. I'm going to go ahead and change this to an H1 tag. There we go. That's much better. Scroll down, and here are these. We're going to go ahead and make these H3s. So just select each one and change the HTML tag on the right. Okay, so now we can see our table of contents looks a lot better. All right, so the next thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and select these table of contents, and I want to create some separation between the table of contents and the text that we have over here. A good way to do that is actually put your table of contents inside of a section. So with the table of contents selected, I'm going to go ahead and click on the vertical options here, vertical ellipsis for the options, and I'm going to select insert after. Below that, I'm going to do a / and I'm going to type section. A section is a type of container in also in Kadence. So we're going to go ahead and select that. And what we want to do is we're going to place our table of contents inside of that section. So I'm just going to drag it here with this drag icon, and I'm going to drop it right inside. So now it is inside of the section. If we want to confirm this, we can go ahead and open this up in list view, scroll down, and you'll see that section right over here with the table of contents on the inside of it. Okay, this is great because now we can do some design stuff around it. So I'm going to go ahead and select that section, move over to the right, come over here to background settings. I'm going to set a light background for it. Okay, so actually let's make it a little bit darker so we can really see it. Okay, so a little bit darker. And then the other thing that I want to do as well is I want to add some padding to this. So let's set the padding at 20 pixels all around. Let's see how this looks on the front end. So I'm going to go ahead and update this. It's always good to check it because sometimes it looks a little bit different on the front. Okay, so on the front it looks great. It just looked weird on the back end. All right, go back to editing the page. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select that section again. And on the border styles, I'm going to add a left-hand border. So let's add a border color. Let's make that a deep green border. And on the left, we're going to add 10 pixels of border there. I'm going to go ahead and select the entire row, and let's increase the column gutter to 40 pixels to give it just a little bit more spacing. Okay. All right. So now that looks great. The next thing that I want to do here is I want to add one more call to action to this section. So to be able to do that, I'm going to go ahead and open up the list view. I'm going to look for this table of contents section. So it's a section inside of a section. So here's that section right here. We just want to make sure I have that section selected. And then what I'm going to do is click on the options ellipsis here, click on insert after, and I'm going to go ahead and do a / and add another section. There we go. Okay. I'm going to click on the plus sign inside of that section, and I'm going to want to add an image here. So I'm going to click on advanced, search for advanced image. Here it is. And this time I want to add my product image or product logo here again. So I'm going to click on select. I'm going to grab the image and select. And then with that image selected, I'm going to go ahead and click on Insert After, and we're going to add a row. So / we're going to do a row layout. This time I want a 2-column row layout. And the reason I'm adding this is because I want to be able to add my ratings again in here and a call to action. That's why we're doing this. Okay, so here's our row layout. I'm going to do a plus sign and an advanced text. And we're going to go ahead and type in ease of use. We're going to go ahead and set the font size for this to 18 pixels. And in the advanced typography settings, we're going to text transform this to uppercase. And then on the right-hand column, we're going to add our stars again. So instead of me recreating those stars, I'm just going to go all the way up here. I'm going to grab one of these stars, click on it, open up the vertical ellipsis for the options, copy the block, scroll down, click on the plus sign in the column, select the paragraph, and we're going to use Command V or Control V if you're on a PC to paste those stars in there. Okay. All right, that looks pretty good. Now we just need to replicate this for all the other options. So I'm just going to select the row again. All right, and with the row selected, I'm actually going to make a change to the padding and margin. I don't want that to 25. Let's just set that to 5. Keep it reasonable. And then we're going to duplicate this row a few times. So I'm going to duplicate it. And one more time. And one final time. Okay, and then we're going to change the labels. This is going to be, okay, make sure we have that selected. Okay, so this is going to be price/value. This will be features, and this will be support. Okay, the next thing that we want to do is select that last row, click on the vertical ellipsis for the options, do an insert after, and we're going to do a / advanced, and we're looking for advanced text. And for this one, we're going to write overall. Okay, so we can do an overall score, or you can say overall rating. Go ahead and center that. Then hit the Enter key right after that for a new block line. And once again, this time we're going to go ahead and add a 5 out of 5, a number rating here. Okay, so I'm going to scroll all the way up. I'm just going to grab this one. We're going to copy that block, scroll down, and we're going to paste it in here with Command V or Control V. Okay, and then the final thing we need to add here is a call to action, right? So we need to have call to actions multiple times so that when people are ready, they can go ahead and purchase our the product that we're providing the review for. So I'm going to scroll all the way up again. I'm going to grab this button, vertical ellipsis, copy the block, scroll down, place my cursor right after the heading, hit Enter, and then do a Command V or Control V if you're on a PC. And then I'm going to go ahead and center this. All right, and that looks great. Let's make a change to this button. I'm going to select the button, and I'm going to come over here to the button settings, open it up, scroll down, and we're looking for the icon settings, and we're going to search for an arrow. Just give a subtle nudge to go ahead and click the button. All right, and that looks pretty good. I'm going to select the button, make sure my buttons look consistent, scroll up, select this button, make the change here. Anyways, since we're already here, we're going to go to icon settings, search for the arrow. There we go. Okay, that looks a lot better. All right, now the other thing that we need to do is we need to separate this area from the table of contents. And look, the table of contents is picking up our H2 headings again. So let's scroll down and fix that. We're going to select this heading, and what we want to do is change it to an H3. Do the same here. H3. There you have it. Okay, so our table of contents is now clean. So I want to select this section layout right over here. Okay, so just select any item in there, look at the list view, scroll down, and we're going to grab that section, move over to the right, and we're going to make some changes here. So for one, for the padding and margin, I'm going to give it a 40 pixel margin on the top, and for the background, we're going to give it the same beige color. We're also going to give it a border on the left. So 10 pixel border on the left, change the color to a solid green. And then we're going to add a little bit of padding here as well. 40 pixel padding all around. Okay, great. So let's close this out. And I know this all looks jumbled, but let's check it on the front end first before we make any adjustments. So I'm gonna click on update, view the page, scroll down. Okay, so we can see that this is all misaligned because of the padding that we added. So this is very easy to fix. Let's just go over here onto edit page. So what we can do is come over here and we can reduce this to 20 pixels. Now this image is a little bit big, so I'm going to select the image again, and I want the max width on this to be 200 pixels. I also want the image to be centered, so align that to the center. All right, and then click on update. And when we view the page, here is our reviews layout. This looks really good. Now let's add just a little bit of pop to it. What we're going to do is we're going to make this section, this area right here, be sticky so that when you're reading the review, you're still in a position to go ahead and take advantage of the offer. Okay, so we're going to come over here, click on edit page. We're going to look for that section, which is over here. All right, and we want the full section, right? So I'm going to open this up in list view. I have the row layout selected, and I want this second section over here. Move over to the right, select the sticky settings. We're going to select make sticky, and we're going to give it a sticky header offset of 8 pixels. Click on update and view the page. And when we scroll up, it sticks in place, right? So we can see everything and we can consume the content, and then it runs into the header. And that's it. So our layout creation is done and it looks really good. The next thing that we need to do now is we need to now take this layout and we're going to create a custom post type for reviews that's going to adopt this layout using the Kadence elements. And you're going to see how easy and how quickly we're going to be able to do that. Okay, so now that we've created our review layout, all we now need is a reviews custom post type to apply it to. Okay, now if you don't know what a custom post type is, I do have a video where I cover custom post types, but essentially a custom post type is just another type of content. When you first install WordPress, it actually comes with 2 default post types, right? Which is the posts, where all your blogs technically go, and then there's also pages, which create the pages for your website. And if you wanted to create reviews, one option that you would have was you could just create them as a post and a category of posts if you want, but those will still be posts, or you could do them as pages, which really wouldn't make any sense. So what a custom post type allows you to do is we get to have another content type called reviews, and they can have all the same features as posts or pages, but it's a great way for you to be able to organize your content. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to actually create a custom post type that's just going to handle our reviews, and it's going to have the layout that we just created applied to it. So to do that, we need to add a plugin. The plugin that we need to add is called Content Post Type UI. There are a lot of different other custom post type plugins as well, some premium versions and free versions, but this version is a free version and it pretty much has everything that we need to be able to create a custom post type. So just go to plugins, go to add new, do a search for custom post type, and this is custom post type UI. Okay, go ahead and install now. Click on activate and you'll notice the custom post type UI added to the menu over here. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to add the reviews custom post type, or the product reviews custom post type. So we're going to come over here to add edit post type, click on that. And here we're going to give it the slug. So in this case, our slug is going to be reviews. The plural label will be reviews and the singular label will be review. And then if we scroll down, you can give it a description. So we'll just say this is our reviews, our review post type. Okay, and everything else here you can leave as is. You don't need to really do anything over here. All this is already set up in the right way that it has to be. And right over here, we want to give it a menu icon. So I'm just going to click on choose a dash icon. And since this is a review, let's do something. How about, let's use this one. This is fine. Okay, that's going to be the icon that's going to show up over here to separate it from all the other ones. And then over here, we want to identify what we want it to support. So we definitely want titles. We want the editor. We want a featured image. We may want an excerpt. And let's also add custom fields and author. And we can also add page attributes. And that's pretty much all we need. Okay, so this is just saying what are you going to have in the editor. All right, and then once this is done, we don't have a taxonomy for it. We'll create that separately. Let's go ahead and click on Add Post Type. Now, once you click on Add Post Type, you can see over here, there's now a Reviews custom post type, right? Remember when I talked about posts and pages? Now we have reviews, and you can kind of see how WordPress works. It's really just a bunch of post types, and there are other ones as well that I haven't mentioned, but really I just want us to focus on the reviews one that we're creating right now. So let's also go ahead and add a taxonomy to it. A taxonomy just means a category, just how we're going to categorize our reviews. So click on Add Edit Taxonomies, and over here we're going to call this a review category as the slug, and the plural will be review categories, singular label will be review category. All right, and this is going to apply to reviews, and everything else here is fine. There is one thing that we do want to change. So if you scroll all the way down to the settings, we want the hierarchical settings to set to be true, and that's going to allow us to have parent-child relationship. So you can have a category that has a child category in it, okay? And then everything else is just fine. Scroll all the way down to the bottom, click on Add Taxonomy, and we're all set. So if I go to reviews now, I have all reviews, add new reviews, and review categories. Okay, so if I click on Add New, I now have an interface to be able to add reviews. Okay, all right, so this looks really good. All right, awesome. That is how you add a custom post type. Next, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and actually apply our layouts that we created. We're gonna go ahead and apply that to the reviews custom post type. Now, it's important for you to have a dedicated template that you apply to your custom post type. So in this case, since it's a product review custom post type, we want to have a dedicated template that applies to it. And we spent the earlier half of this tutorial creating that template inside of a page. And the reason why that's important is because if I were to go to reviews right now and I clicked on Add New, and let's just add the review. So let's just say, we'll just call this Kadence, just as an example, review. And I wanted to go ahead and start adding my review. Now I could go through that whole process of rebuilding that entire layout again, which you really don't want to do for each and every single review, because then you're doing everything manually and that's not really efficient. Also, if you just populated your content in there, for example, so actually let's go ahead and pull that up again, just as an example. So let's go to Lorem Ipsum, and we'll just grab some text here, and let's just assume that this is we're just adding information. So I'm going to go ahead and do an advanced text, and this will be my subheading. Okay, enter, whoops, and then let's do another one, and I just want to make this point clear. So let's say this is my review content, so the actual review itself, and I took this and I just duplicated it a bunch of times. Okay, so here's our content in here, right? So technically you could go and rebuild that entire template here and manually add everything one by one. But the problem you're going to run into is that when you look at it on the front end, it's going to look like what you built, but you would have to do that every single time, and that could become very time consuming, right? So this is what our review layout should just by default looks like. It just adopts the default layout that Kadence presents. Okay, so we spent all that time creating the product layout, review layout inside of a page, kind of like a wireframe. So now that we have it, we can now go ahead, and what we want to do is we want to apply it so that every time you create a review, all these things happen automatically. Okay. To pull this off, we need two things. We already did one thing, which was creating the custom post type. But the second thing that we're going to need is we're going to need to turn all these areas over here into custom fields. Okay, so not all of it, but really mainly the intro, the image, the button, the affiliate link behind the button, the star ratings, the number ratings, right? All this is actually going to come just from within our post type already. So we've already added that when we just did what we did. And then all this should happen automatically every single time. Okay. So that's what the purpose of creating a template is about. All right. So now that we've done that, how do we create a template for our review page? Well, that's where Kadence comes in. So if we go over to the dashboard over here, and let's go to Appearance and Cadence. And under Cadence, you'll see the Elements option. This Elements comes with the Kadence Pro add-on. So we'll click on Add New, and you'll be presented with the Elements page. Okay, so let's just call this one our Reviews Layout Template. No, let's just call it our Reviews Template because it's no longer a layout template. So let's call it the Reviews Template. And if we go over here to the element settings, okay, we can see that there are actually different types. There is the content section. This kind of element is an element that you would create if you want to insert content into any post type that you have on your WordPress install. There's a fixed section for adding things that are fixed on a page. There's the HTML editor. And then you also have the template. The one we're going to be working with in particular is going to be the template element. Okay. So we're going to select that one, and you'll know you've selected it when you see it right over here. Okay. Now, all we need to do is bring in our layout that we created inside of that page. So I'm going to go ahead and publish this to save my work. And then we're going to go out of this, go to Pages, All Pages, and here's our product review layout page. I'm going to click on Edit. And what I want to do is I want to copy every single thing that I have over here. Okay. So a very good way to do that is if you open it up in list view, you'll see all your collapsed rows. Click on the first one, hold down the shift key, and click on the last one. Now you have them all selected. Then you can press Command C or Control V if you're using a PC, or you can actually just click on the options over here and click on Copy Blocks, and you would have copied everything. Okay. Now that we've done that, we're going to exit out of here. We're going to go to Appearance, Cadence, Elements, select the elements. Here's our Reviews template. Click on Edit. We already know we wanted this as a template section, so just go ahead and select that again if it comes up again. And then we're just going to add our cursor to the block line that's present there, and press Command V. And everything is now added in there, just the way we had it. Okay. All right, so we've added our template layout. Now, we can't use it like this, right? Because if you use it like this, then everything here will show up in a static way. Now we have to make this dynamic, and the way we do that is with custom fields. But we've got our framework in place. All right, so this is going to be our title. This is going to be an intro. This is going to be a logo. And all this, we're going to go ahead and configure and make these all into custom post types for our site. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause on this right now and then go out and create custom fields to match all the areas that we want to be dynamic on our reviews template. Okay, so let's go ahead and click Update, and then we're going to exit out, and we're going to add one more plugin to our install. That plugin is going to be called Advanced Custom Fields. So go to Plugins, click on Add New. We're going to go and do a search for Advanced Custom Fields, and this is the one we want. Go ahead and install and activate. All right, so here's our Advanced Custom Fields. On the left now, you'll now see a Custom Fields link, and this is where we can go ahead and create the field groups that we need for our reviews template. Okay, so first of all, let's go ahead and open up in a separate tab the reviews template. So I'm going to come over here to Appearance, go to Cadence, Elements. Here's a reviews template. I'm going to click on Edit, and I'm going to basically right click on this and open this in a separate tab. All right, so we now have our template in place. Now on the left hand side here, on the other tab, we're going to go back, and now we're going to access our custom fields. And we need to create custom fields that match the areas where we just want to input content and the reviews template, so that it automatically does all the stuff for us. All the 5 stars, all the logos, the content, right? It creates all these aspects for us automatically without us having to rebuild and redesign the layout each and every single time. So over here on the dashboard, we're going to go to Custom Fields. And in the Advanced Custom Fields area over here, we're going to click on Add New, and we're going to call this Review Fields. And then we're going to start adding our fields. So what's going to be the first field that we add? If we go over here to our layout, we can see we have an image, okay, and we have intro text, and we probably need a link for this button, and then we probably need a field for this text. So I'm going to come over back here, and we're going to select for the field type, we want this to be an image. Okay, so I'm going to select image. The field label will be product review image. It's going to automatically add the slug for you, and the return format that we want is going to be an image URL. Okay, and that field is now created. So I'm going to click on close field, and then we're going to add another field. If we go back and look at our layout, we have intro text over here. So we want to add some intro text capability. So we're going to go back, and in the next custom field here, we're going to select a WYSIWYG editor. And here we're going to call this our introductory text. The field name is automatic, and we're done there. I'll go ahead and close this, and then we need to add the next one. So the next field, the link that goes behind this button, which is typically going to be your affiliate link for the reviewed product. Okay, so we're going to go back, and this is going to be a URL, and we're going to call this one product affiliate link. Okay, and we're done there. All right, we're going to go back. Now we need this content right over here. So we'll call this content extra note. Okay, so I'm going to come over here, click on add field. We'll leave this as a text field, and we'll call this product review note. Okay, so that anything can go in there. All right, so far this looks really good. Next, over here, we're going to move down to the next section. So for this section, the custom fields are going to be the star ratings. Okay, those are the custom fields we need. These we're not going to need to do anything with. These are going to be static fields, and you'll see how we work these into the template. But these star ratings, what we want is for us to be able to slide a slider, and depending on where it lands between 1 and 5, it automatically gives us the stars. Okay, so we're going to go back to our advanced customs field interface, click on add field. Okay, and we're going to call this one a range. Okay, because we want a slider. So we want this to be a range between 1 and 5. Here we're going to call this ease of use star rating, okay, because that's the name of this rating, ease of use. So we want ease of use star rating. Okay, and then in this one, we're going to go to the validation. Under the validation, we're going to say we want a minimum value of 1 and we want a maximum value of 5. Under the presentation, we're going to say, hey, we want this to step over by 0.5, right? Because you can have 0.5, 2.5, and so on. So we want this to move by 0.5, and then everything else you're going to leave alone. Now, let's actually make one change. Because I think in most affiliate websites, if you're going to be reviewing a product, it's highly unlikely that you're going to give a really bad review, a 1.5 or anything like that. So back on the validation, what I want to do is I'm just going to set this to 3. That's just what we're going to do in this affiliate website. You can do anything you want, but we'll just set it to 3. So the minimum value is going to be 3. The maximum value is going to be 5. That's the highest rating you're going to be able to get. So 3 stars or 5 stars. We're not going to be giving anything a 1 star or 2 star. All right. Now that we're done with the ease of use rating, then we need to do the same thing for all the other ones: price, value, features, and support. So I'm going to come over here, and what I'm going to do is instead of creating another field, I'm just going to duplicate this one, and it's going to create a duplicate copy for me. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to change this to price star rating, and the validation should remain the same. The presentation should remain the same. Okay, and just be sure to actually, if you just copy the field label and delete it, add it again, and click in the field name, it'll automatically add the price star rating for you. Next, let's just go ahead and duplicate it from here. The next one that we had is features. So features star rating, delete the copy, and we can change it here, and then delete the copy as well. We don't want that piece there. And then we're gonna go ahead and duplicate, and this time we have support star rating. Okay. So far, so good. I'm going to go ahead and save these changes. So here's our list of custom fields. Okay, so in this list of custom fields is where all the automatic additions will happen. Okay, now let's go ahead and check out our layout just to be sure that we're not missing anything. So if I come over here, we've taken care of everything here. We've taken care of what we need to here, which is basically the stars. If we scroll down, we can also see that there are some stars here as well. But you know what? These correspond to what we have over here. So we don't need to make any changes here. Okay. And if we scroll down over here where it says the overall rating, so we're going to have to manually calculate this one ourselves. It's very easy to calculate. So we definitely want a field for that on the back end. So you can just go ahead and enter the total overall rating. Okay. So we're going to come back to our advanced custom fields interface. We're going to click on add field, and we're going to make this a text field, and the label is going to be called product overall rating. Okay. And on this one, everything else is, it's fine. We don't need to add any other thing there because it's just an input that we're going to make. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and save those changes. All right. So now we're done creating our custom fields. Now, if we scroll down, we need to tell advanced custom fields who actually gets to benefit from these review fields. Okay. So where do we want this attached? If you scroll further down over here under the settings, you'll see the location rules. And here it says, show this field group if post type is equal to, and we want that to be review. Okay, so if it's a review, please use these fields. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and click on Save Changes. Excellent. And now we're going to go back to our reviews. So if you go to the Reviews tab, let's see if our custom fields are there. So if we go to our Reviews tab and we click on All Reviews and we click on Edit on the sample review we created. So here's all our content. And if you scroll further down, you'll see all the fields, right? So here's where we get to add an image, our introductory text, our affiliate link, our product review note, and then here's our rating settings right here, okay? With the minimum at 3, right? And then our product overall rating, where we can go ahead and add a number that we want. All right. Okay, and that's how you create the custom fields and attach it to your custom post type. So now what we need to do is we need to assign our template to this review post type. And now that we have our custom fields in place, we can actually complete the fields. That way, when we make the connection, all the data will pull through on the reviews post type. That way, when we actually when we publish and we view the review, it won't look like this, right? Because right now it's not connected to a template. So it basically just looks plain. So let's go ahead and complete the actual review by going to Edit Review, and now we can fill out our custom fields. So we're going to go ahead and add our image, which is our Kadence logo, and then our introductory text, and then our product affiliate link. So https CliftonWP.com/Kadence, and then our review note, right? So we want a note to tell people about Kadence. So we might want to say something like current pricing is free to $199 annually. And then we'll say lifetime license available. And then the star rating. So let's go ahead and give it 5 stars all the way across. And then overall rating 5. Okay, now we've actually completed our review. Let's go ahead and click on update. Now you'll notice when we view the review, none of our custom fields show up, and that's because we have not connected it to the template yet. Now we're going to go ahead and connect it to a template. Okay, so if we go back to the dashboard, go to Appearance, Kadence, Elements, and we're now back at the elements. We want the reviews template. We're going to go ahead and click on Edit. And now what we want to do is we now want to start connecting our custom fields to the actual template. Okay, so remember we're in the Elements Reviews template now. First thing we're going to do is we're actually going to set up the preview. So if you open up the element settings, and over here you'll see preview settings. Go ahead and click on that. Then we're going to come over here where it says select preview post type. Click open the drop down, select reviews, and then select review post. We only have one, so we'll select the Kadence review that we have and click select. And that way, as we're adding our dynamic content, it'll pull directly from our review post that we have. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin, and we'll just go top to bottom. Okay, so we're going to start here with the title. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the entire heading. Then we're going to click on the dynamic content icon right here. And in the drop down that shows up, go ahead and open it up. And the content that we want is the post title. We want it for the current post. Click on add dynamic content, and you'll see now it pulls in the review title. Okay, so next we're going to work on the post meta. And right over here, we can see that it has the author name and the date. So I'm just going to highlight this author name right over here. Go to the dynamic content, open up the drop down, scroll down, and we're going to find the author name. and we're going to add dynamic content. So it's going to pull in my display name. And then over here, we want the date, dynamic content, and we want the post date. Okay, there we go. All right. And then over here, now we're going to start pulling in our custom fields. So for the image, we want this image to pull from our custom field image in our review. Okay, so I'm going to select the image, and then I'm going to move over here to the right, click open the cogwheel if you're not there yet so you can see this block's settings. And right over here where it says edit image, we have our dynamic content icon. Go ahead and click on that, enable dynamic image, and then we're going to click open on the drop down. We want the post custom field for the current post, and the field that we want is the product review image. So there it is, it pulled the image in for us. Okay, next up is going to be this section right over here where we've pulled in some intro text. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and highlight the entire text that's here, and I'm going to click on the dynamic content, open up the drop down. This is also a post custom field, so select that from the options from the current post, and the field that we're looking for is introductory text. So select that, add dynamic content, and now our actual content is pulled through. Okay, we have a little bit of spacing over here. I'm going to go ahead and delete that spacing. Excellent. And now for the button. So for the button, what we want over here is we want the link to be our affiliate link. So there's already a dynamic link right here. So just go ahead and click on that, enable, and in the drop down, we're looking for post custom field, and we want the product affiliate link. All right, great. And that's already in there. Now, I just realized that this text right here could also be a custom field. So the text right here says, get Kadence today. So we probably want to make sure that this is something that we're controlling with a custom field. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and update this now. And then I'm going to go to the dashboard. We're going to go to custom fields, go to our field groups, click on review fields, click on edit, and we're going to add one more custom field. So click on add field, and this field is going to be a text field, and we're going to call this field button call to action or button CTA. And that's all we're going to do there. And we will then, we will also save the field. All right. And I think I want this to, we can actually move this up to where it is, where it should be, which is underneath the introductory text. And perfect. Okay. So now when we go back, this text right here, I want this text to be something that I fill in inside of my review. Okay. So let's actually go to that review. So let's go to reviews, all reviews, click on edit. So this is our review. And if we scroll down on the custom fields, we should see right here is the button CTA. Okay, so for this particular review, we want to say get Kadence now and update. Okay, now we're going to go back to our templates, our elements, editing our element, and let's just go ahead and refresh this so it has the latest version. So over here, what we want to do is we want this text to actually come from our custom post type. Okay, so I'm going to highlight the text and then click on this dynamic icon, content icon. We'll open up the drop down. This is going to be a post custom field, and we want the button CTA. Add it, and you can see now it says get Kadence now. Okay, and we can even style this by going over to the button settings, font family, text transform, uppercase. So now we can continue to move along. So this is our note, right? So if you remember, this was going to be our note. Go ahead and highlight that. Click on the dynamic content. Open up the drop down. We want the post custom field, and we're looking for the product review note. Add dynamic content, and there it is. Okay. And then again, we can go ahead and style this any way that we want. Just go ahead and open up the settings here, and we want this to be uppercase, and let's make it semi-bold. Okay. All right, now we're done with that section. So now we're going to come over here and we're going to go ahead and add our star product rating custom fields. For the product star rating, what we want to accomplish is we want whatever we choose in the review post as far as the rating goes, we want that to be reflected here. Okay, so if we say that this product gets a 3 out of 5, we want to be able to move our slider to 3 and have it show 3 out of 5 here and show only 3 stars. If we say that it's 5 stars, then we want it to also show 5 stars. And we want all that happening dynamically. Okay, so this part of our template is going to be the most involved part because this is going to utilize some conditional display. Conditional display is a feature that's available with Kadence Blocks Pro, and it comes in really handy when you want to have more dynamic control over your content, as we will want in this review template. So let's go ahead and set this up, and we'll just do this step by step. It looks tedious at first, but once we get it completed, you'll be really happy you did it. Okay, all right. So first, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and access the content here, starting with the number rating. Okay, so we have a 5 out of 5 and we have 5 stars. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a condition. So here's a condition. The condition is going to be that if the easy to use rating is a 5 out of 5, then we want to show 5 stars. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and select the 5 out of 5. And remember, we're in the elements template here. Okay, so this is the elements template. We're going to select the 5 out of 5, move over to the right, scroll down, and look for the conditional display. See it right here? Go ahead and open it. Okay, then go ahead and enable it. Scroll down, and we've got the conditional. Okay, so we're going to say, what is the condition? Well, the condition is we're looking at a post custom field. That's the conditional. The source is the post custom field in the current post, which is going to be our review post. And the custom field that we're looking for in this case is the ease of use star rating. So we're going to select that. And then we're going to compare the type. So really what we're saying here is if the ease of use star rating is equal to 5, then go ahead and show this number. Okay, and we're done there. And then we're going to do the same thing for the star rating. So this is a 5 out of 5 star rating. So we're going to go ahead and select that, move over to the right, scroll down. You'll see the conditional display. Go ahead and enable it. And the conditional is going to be a post custom field. That's what we're checking against. And the custom field is again the ease of use star rating. And we're saying if the ease of use star rating and the compare type is equal and the value is 5, then please display 5 stars. If it's not, then do not display 5 stars. Okay, so now that we've done that, we now need to set up the same rules for if it's 3 out of 5, if it's 3.5, if it's 4 out of 5, and so on. And it's going to be very, very easy to do. Okay, all we need to do now is we just need to select this heading block. Okay, after we've configured it, open up the vertical ellipsis for the options, and we're going to duplicate this, and we're going to duplicate it some more. Okay, and let's do it one more time. Okay, we're going to come to the first one, and we're going to change this to 3 out of 5, and then we're going to change this one to 3.5 out of 5. Then we're going to update this to 4 out of 5. And we need one more. So let's go ahead and duplicate that. And so we're going to make this one 4.5 out of 5. Okay. So now we have 3 out of 5, 3.5, 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5, and then 5 out of 5. Okay. Now we also need the corresponding stars to go along with it. So we're going to select our star rating, and we're going to go ahead and duplicate that. And we want 5 instances of it. So now we're going to change this. The first one here, we want this to be 3 stars. So I'm going to select this first group of stars, move over to the right, and we're going to come down to the icon 4 setting, and we're going to delete that star, and we're going to change this. We're going to go ahead and search for a star again, and this time we want the see-through star, the outline star. So we'll select that. And then for the icon 5, for the 5th one, we're going to do the same thing. Okay, so now it shows 3 stars. Okay. Then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go through the line doing the same thing for each one. So we're going to do 3.5 stars, 4 stars, 4.5 stars, and then 5 stars. So let's go ahead and select the second one. And this is 3.5 stars. So we want that 4th star to be a half star. Okay, we'll just search for half. And here's our half star. And then our 5th star is going to be clear. All right. And then the next one, the 5th star is just going to be clear. And then on the second to last one, the fifth star is going to be a half star. All right, so when we look at it, we can now see everything corresponds, right? 3 stars, 3.5, 4 stars, 4.5, and 5 stars. Now we need to set up the conditionals for each one. Okay, so currently right now, every conditional is carrying the same conditions as the 5 out of 5. So if we select this one here and we scroll down, we open up the conditional display, we can see where we set it up where it's equal to 5. If the ease of use star rating is equal to 5, then display. Okay, so we want to make sure that each one matches. So we'll start here with the 3 out of 5. So select it, move over to the right, scroll down, go to the conditional display. Okay, all this is already set. We just need to change this to 3. Then move to the next one. Move to the right, scroll down, conditional display, change this to 3.5. And we're just going to keep moving that way. So for the 4 out of 5, we're going to change this to 4. And then for the 4.5, conditional display, this will be 4.5. And then let's just make sure that our 5 out of 5 is still in the same place. Okay, so this should be 5. Okay, so let's just double check again. So make sure you click in until it's highlighted. Go to the conditional display. That is 5. 4.5. That is 4.5. 4 out of 5. That is 4 out of 5. 3.5 is 3.5. And the 3 out of 5 is 3. Great. Now we need to do the same thing for the stars. So I'm going to select the first star, scroll over to the right, look at the conditional display, and we want to make sure that this is a 3. Then the second one will be a 3.5. Third one is going to be a 4. The fourth one, 4.5. And the fifth one should be a 5. Okay, so I'm just going to double check it again. Make sure everything is in the right place. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Check this one. That should be a 4. This should be a 3.5. And this should be a 3. Yes. Okay. So now all our conditional displays are set up correctly. Okay. Now all we need to do is do the same thing for each of these columns. And this is going to be really easy to do. Okay. All we need to do is copy everything we have here, move it over, and then make the necessary changes. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and open up list view for this. I'm going to select the first item here, which is the 3.5 advanced text. I'm going to hold down my shift key and I'm going to go all the way down to the last icon. I'm going to click on the vertical ellipsis for the options, click on copy blocks, and then I'm going to move over to the next column and I'm going to highlight both items and I'm going to do a Command V and it's going to paste everything in place for me. Okay, now I need to just go in and change the custom field for each one. So I'm going to select the first one, move over to the right, scroll down, go to the conditional display, and make sure that the custom field is going to be the price star rating. I'll do that for each one. Okay, now the stars. Okay. And then we're going to repeat that process for the other two columns, and then we're done with that, with this aspect of it. Okay, so now that we've added all that, we also need to add these, we also need to add the stars in one other place, and that's going to be right over here in our call to action. Okay, so we want the ease of use to match everything that matches up over here as well. So this is actually going to be very easy to do. All we need to do here is go ahead and grab and copy each one into each corresponding row. Okay. So to be able to do that, just go ahead and grab the first one here, okay, and hold down the Shift key, select the last set of stars, click on the vertical ellipsis for the options, copy the blocks, move over to the right, and then we come over here, and we're going to go ahead and paste that right there, okay. Then we're going to go to the price value version, do the same thing. And then the features. Great. Next, we just need to add the overall rating. So we just want to highlight this 5. So just the first 5. Dynamic content, post custom field, and we want the overall rating. Add dynamic content, and there it is. Okay. And then our button, we also need to link our button. So we're going to go ahead and grab this text. So just highlight the text. Oops, I just want the text. Then click on the dynamic content icon. And we want a post custom field. And the field that we want is the button CTA. Add dynamic content. And then go to the font family. We're going to make this uppercase. Excellent. And then for the URL, we're just going to have our product affiliate link. So again, click on the dynamic content icon, enable it. And we want the post custom field. And we're looking for the product affiliate link. And that one is also done. Okay. So now we've linked almost everything. We also need to link this image as well. So select the image, and let's go ahead and close this out for now, so we can see everything correctly. Okay. So we have the image, click on the dynamic content icon, enable dynamic image, post custom field, and the field that we want is a product review image. There it is. Okay. All right. So we've added everything everywhere except for one area. And the area that we need to work on next is going to be this content area right over here, right? Because this is really static content, but we want it to pull the content that we have in our editor in the review post, okay? So to be able to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to delete everything that we have here so far. Awesome. All right, and then over here, what we're going to do is we're going to click on the plus sign, and what we're going to look for here, we're going to look for dynamic HTML, okay? This is a block that allows you to pull the content area from your custom post type. So we're going to grab the dynamic HTML block, okay? You see right here it says no content found. That's okay. We're going to go ahead and move over to the right, over here, and we're going to start configuring it from here, okay? So the HTML content that it's looking for is going to be the post content. Click on that. And there you have it. So this is actually pulling what we have live in our review block now. So it is pulling it dynamically. This is probably one of the most powerful blocks in Kadence. Extremely powerful for dynamic content. All right, and believe it or not, our entire template is completely done. This is all set up and ready for us to go ahead and link up with our review post. So I'm going to go ahead and update this to save the work. And then now let's go ahead and connect it to our review post. To do that, just go over here to the element settings, open it up, scroll down, and we're going to go to placement. And what we want is we want this to replace the single post content. Okay. Replace the single post content. And then we're going to go to display settings. And we're going to say we want you to show this on single reviews. Okay. And that's it. Just go ahead and click on update. And now when we go back to our single review, so just to show you where this is, we are now here at reviews, Kadence. This is the Kadence review that we created. Let's click on edit. All our content is still in place. All right. And let's go ahead and view. Let's go ahead and take a look at the review right now. So I'm going to go ahead and click on update, view review. All right. So one of the things that you'll notice right away is that the layout comes in nice and clean. See that? All right. However, there are some things that we need to go ahead and configure. For instance, this area right here, we want to create some separation between the page title area and the actual content area here. But this looks really good. As you can see, it completely adopted the content. One other thing that we also want to do, let's go to customize, go to pages and post layout, go to our reviews layout, and we want to make sure that we have this configured. So we don't want to show the title, and we also want to make sure that we have a full content style, not boxed. We're going to disable any vertical padding, and we want everything to be full width. Click on update, publish. All right, and now you can see the actual full-blown review page, how it's supposed to look. Right, so that's what's awesome. If you create a custom post type, Kadence will also create a section in the customizer for you to go ahead and customize it correctly. That way you don't have to do it on an individual page basis. Meaning, if I were to click on edit review, okay, so you see how it's now laid out correctly versus having to come here and then disabling everything from this part on every single review page. You can just do it in that one place on the customizer, and then every single review you create will always look like this. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's view it. And this is our Kadence review. Looks very good. Okay, we probably need to add a little bit of spacing here. Very easy to do. So now all you need to do really, if you need to make any changes, is change the content area. That's all you need to do. Change the template. So we can come over here to the dashboard, go to appearance, Kadence elements, and I can go to the reviews template, and I can say I would like to have some spacing here. So I'm going to select this button, container margin, and at the top I'm going to add 20 pixels. Okay, click on update. That's viewing the element. Go to reviews, all reviews, and view it. And here's our review page. Okay, we have a nice intro area, some more spacing here, our ratings, our content, our table of contents, which helps us move through the review, and then our call to action. Okay, and we can see here we need a little bit of spacing right over here. Very easy to fix. I just go back to the content, to the template, under elements, edit, and come over here, select the heading, spacing on the top. So give us 20 pixels. And then the bottom give us 20 pixels. Click on update. All right. So there's really one more thing that we need to do, which is basically to make sure that this looks good on a mobile device. Okay, so to be able to do that, just go ahead and select any one of the rows. Start with the tablet view. All right, so in the tablet view, let's go ahead and select these items and put them in a grid. That looks good. Select these items and we'll put these one on top of the other, so stack them. So that looks good. All right, and so far all this looks good. Okay, now for the mobile device, like a cell phone, scroll up. Let's go ahead and center our button. Okay, let's center this text, and the rest of this looks good. Let's go ahead and center our text here. Okay, this makes it very easy to do mobile editing. All right, all that looks great. Okay, so we can exit out of here, go to reviews, all reviews, and let's view our sample review. And let's take a look at it on a mobile device by going to the Chrome Developer Tool. And here we are on the cell phone. Here's our title, image. Oh, everything looks really good. Our ratings. Everything's arranged beautifully. Yes. All right. So now we can create any reviews that we want for any kind of product. We just use Kadence as an example. Now, the final test. Does it actually work if we change the ratings? So will it actually recognize it and adjust the stars and the numbers? So let's see if that works. Let's go ahead and click on Edit Review. And let's scroll down to our custom post types. And let's change the ratings to, let's make this a 4.5. We'll make this one a 4. We'll make that a 4 as well. And we'll make this a 4.5. Okay. And then let's also test it over here as well. What if we change this over here? Let's just make this 4.25. And we update. And view the review. Scroll down. And as you can see, our stars are aligning correctly. 4.5 stars, 4 stars, 4 stars, 4.5 stars. The number rating also adjusts correctly. Number rating adjusts correctly. And the stars also adjusted correctly as well. Okay. And that is how you add a reviews template or a reviews layout to your website. So now we can go ahead and create new reviews as much as we like, right? So we can add a new review, add in all the information we want, and post it to the website, and it will automatically adopt the layout. So let's give it a try. Okay, so let's just say, let's call this a second product review. And in here, let's go ahead and add some lorem ipsum. So this is our long review about this amazing product. Okay. And in here, let's add an image. And this time we'll just add a, let's add a different image this time. So let's add this book. We're going to review this book. And then the intro text, the affiliate link. All right. Product review note. Just say current price, free, and ease of use. So we'll just say, let's give this a 3, 4, 3, and 4.5. Overall rating, 3.85. Button CTA, get this book today. All right, let's go ahead and click on publish. And when we view this review, here's our second product review, our intro text. See, our text has changed, right? It says get this book today, current price is free. Here's our ratings. Everything matches correctly. The stars match correctly. All right, here's our information. Now we don't see our table of contents because we didn't put any headings in there, right? To fix that, it's very easy. Just come in here and we'll just add some headings. Automatically defaults to H2, so we'll call this a subheading. And let's duplicate this a few times and look at our review. And now we have a table of contents, okay? And everything just looks really nice, okay? So this is how you can have a really beautiful review layout for your affiliate website or your affiliate blog. Okay, so there's one more element or a component that we need to add to our affiliate reviews, and that is a pros and cons section. So you'll notice we don't have that in these reviews or in the review layout itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add that to our template in such a way that that is also dynamic. So let's get right down to it. Okay, so to be able to do that, let's go ahead and go back to the dashboard. And we're going to go to our advanced custom fields. So just go to custom fields, go to field groups. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to create a group that is all about the pros and cons. Or rather than create a group, we're actually going to add it to our review fields. Okay, so we're going to come over here to the review fields that we created earlier, click on edit. And we're going to go ahead and add some fields. These are going to be text fields. Okay, so the text field type will do just fine. And for the field label, we'll call the first one pro field number 1. All right, so let's call this, actually let's call it the pros field number 1. And then what we're going to do now is we're just going to go ahead and duplicate this about 6 times. So you get a chance to enter 6 pros and 6 cons. So if I go ahead and duplicate it, because I have a 1 there at the end, it'll automatically give me 2 and so on, which is great about advanced custom fields. So I don't need to recreate, keep changing the name. So I just know I need 6 of these. All right, so we have 6 pros fields. Okay, next we're going to have 6 cons fields. Okay, so for that one, I'm going to go ahead and click on add field, which is going to be a text field, and we want this to be cons field 1. And then we're going to duplicate that one 6 times as well. All right, so we have 6 pros and 6 cons. I'm going to go ahead and save the changes, and now all our custom fields are in place. Okay, then the next thing that we need to do is we actually need to create the pros and cons table that we're going to be inserting into our layout. So to be able to do that, we're actually going to create it as an element. Okay, so we're going to come over here and we're going to go to appearance and we're going to click on elements. We're going to add a new element and we'll call this pros and cons table. All right, and this type of element, if we go over here to the element settings, it's going to be a content section. So it's going to be a default type of element rather than a template or a fixed section or HTML editor. All right, then the first thing we want to do is we're going to go ahead and add a row. So just come over here to the row layout, just drag it onto the page. That, and we want a 1 column row. And within this 1 column row, we're going to add a 2 column row. So go ahead and click on the plus sign, grab a row layout, and we have a 2 column row. So if we open up the list view, we should have 2 rows. Okay, I'm going to select the outer row, come over here to the right hand side, select the settings cogwheel, scroll down, go to the structure settings, and we're going to set the content max width to inherit from the theme. Okay, that's going to bring everything into the middle. And then on the, let's go ahead and close this out. On the right hand side, this is going to be our pro side, and on the on the left hand side is going to be the pro side, on the right hand side is going to be the cons. So I'm going to click on the plus sign and we're going to add an icon, and this icon is going to represent our pros. Go over to the right hand side and we're going to search for, we want a thumbs up. So search for thumbs. I'm going to add a thumbs up, right? And then on the right, an icon. I'm going to change the icon, search for thumbs. And this is going to be a thumbs down. And then we're going to go ahead and select the icon, and using the vertical ellipsis, open up the options, click on Insert After. And we're going to do an advanced text here. And this is going to say Pros. We're going to go ahead and center this. And I want this to be an H3. And I can go ahead and just copy this block, come over to the right-hand side, do an Insert After, and paste the block. And we're going to change the text to cons. All right, so we have pros and we have cons. Now, one thing I do want to do is I just want to make sure that the spacing on the top margin will be 5 pixels. And for the pros, spacing will be 5 pixels as well. On top. Okay. Then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add some color to this. So the pros are going to be green. So my icon, select my icon, go to the icon color and change that to green. The cons are going to be red. So select the icon color and just drag it over to the red side, too deep of a red. All right. And the next thing that we need to do now is we need to add the fields. So we need to add the pros and the cons. Each one gets up to 6. So let's go ahead and add it right now. The way we're going to add this is actually going to be different. It would make sense to add just a list, but in this case, we're actually going to be utilizing the info box block. Okay, so I'm going to put my cursor right after the pros over here, and I'm going to hit enter. It's going to give me a new block line. I'm going to do a / and search for info box. So here's the info box from Kadence. Go ahead and select that, and it's going to give us this info box. And I'm going to go ahead and configure this info box. I'm going to move over here to the right. And we're going to go to the container settings. And I want the background for this info box to be our darker beige color. Okay. And on hover, I want it to have the same color. There isn't going to be a border, so we don't need to make any changes there. And then I'm going to go ahead and scroll up to the content alignment. I want the content alignment to be to the left. And then we're going to go ahead and start working on each individual piece. So if we go to the media settings, I want the icon to be to the left. So instead of being aligned to the top, we're going to move this over to the left. And we're going to go ahead and align this to the top. Okay. And we're going to change this icon to be a check mark. So these are the pros, so we want a check mark, and let's make it a square check, like that. All right, and then the size, just make it half the size, so 25 pixels will do just fine. And then we're going to scroll down here, and for the title, we're going to go ahead and turn that off. We just want the text. Okay, and then for the text, we only want a little bit of text, so let's get rid of this extra here. All right, now the only thing left to do is for us to make sure that this is aligned properly. So I'm going to scroll up to the top, look for the media settings, and what we're looking for is the padding and margin. So we can see over here, there's no margin on the top, but the padding is most likely pushing this down a little bit. So before I do anything, actually, I just want to preview it and make sure that this is how it's showing up on the front end. So go ahead and preview. And let's preview this on desktop, and we'll preview it in a new tab. Okay, so we can see that there's some spacing issues going on here. So I'm going to come back, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the padding. So let's just open this up by unlinking everything. And I'm going to remove the upper padding there, okay, and leave everything else in place. Okay, and then when we preview it, open up a new preview. Okay, so we can see here that it's aligned a lot better now. Okay, so now that we have that, the next thing that we need to do is we need to kind of reduce the padding from the main info box that we have. So move over to the right hand side after you selected the info box, and we're going to go back up to the container padding, which is going to be under the container settings. And let's change this to just 10 pixels. Then what we want to do is we want to go ahead and duplicate this. But before we do that, let's change the icon color. So the media type, the icon color is going to be green. All right. And then let's change it on hover. So we don't want a hover state. So let's also make that green. So everything looks the same. Okay. Then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to replicate this 6 times. So I'm going to select this info box, click on the options over here, and we're going to go ahead and duplicate. We'll duplicate it again. We just want it 6 times. One more time. Okay. So these are all our pros. Now we need a way to be able to differentiate between these so it looks more like a table. So to be able to do that, just go ahead and select the second option, second info box, move over to the right, open up the container settings. And for the container background, we're going to go ahead and change this to the lighter beige color. Make sure to do that on the hover state as well. All right. And then all we need to do now is we just need to copy the styles. So for every other one. So I'm going to copy the style for this light colored one here. Copy styles, and then I'm going to skip one and move over to the next one. Paste that style, skip one, move over to the last one, and paste that style. So now we have this alternating coloring going on. Okay. All right. Then up next, we need to do the cons. Okay. Cons are going to be very easy. Just open up the list view. And let's get rid of that paragraph that we don't need. So just click here, remove paragraph. All right, so we're going to open up the row layout, open up the section, open up the row layout. And here are the 2 sections with all the icons. Okay, so we're going to select from the info box. Just start with the first info box, hold down your shift key, select the last info box. Then we're going to go ahead and click on the vertical ellipsis for the options, and we're going to copy those blocks. And then we're going to come over here to the second section, and right after the heading title over here, go ahead and press enter, and then you're going to do a Command V or Control V if you are on a PC. That's going to go ahead and paste a replica of the pros right under the cons. Now we just need to change the icon. So let's go ahead and select the first one, move over to the right hand side, scroll down, open up the media settings, and we're going to click in the icon search box, and we're going to search for close. And here is the icon. Select that. Okay, and then we're going to change the color to red. There we go. Okay. All right, and then we're just let's make sure the hover state is the same as well. So this is D8000 for the hover state. Okay. All right, and now that we've done that, let's go ahead and do it for the second one as well. Media settings. Search for close. Whoops. There you have it. Icon color. Hover state. All right, and now let's see if we copy the styles here and we paste it, we will go ahead and collect the styles for all these. Okay, do the same thing for the alternate version. We're just doing this to save time. Okay, so now we still need to change the icons here. So just select the next con element, move over here to the media settings, and all we're doing is changing out the icon. Okay, so now we've created our pros and cons section. So all we need to do now is go ahead and link each pro or each con to the reviews custom post type. To do that, just go to preview settings, and let's make sure that this is reviews, and let's just select one of the reviews to use. Let's use this one and click on select. Let's go ahead and close that. And now what you want to do is we're going to highlight each item that we created. We're going to click on the dynamic content icon, and we're going to say we want the post custom field and the field that we're looking for For the first one, it's going to be the pros field 1. We'll add that there. And we're going to just go through and do that for each one to the corresponding custom field. Okay, so there we go. And for this one, this will be pros custom field 2. And this would be pros custom field 3. You kind of get the idea. All right, now we're going to do the same thing for the cons. So highlight the cons, click on the dynamic content field, or dynamic content icon, excuse me. And then we're going to go to post custom field. And this time we're going to choose the cons field 1, add dynamic content, cons field 2, and so on and so forth. All right, so now our table is completely connected to our reviews template. Okay, so now all we need to do is we need to let the element know where it needs to display this. Okay, so on the right hand side over here, what we're going to do is we're going to open up our placement, and under the placement, just make sure you're under the element settings, which is this right here. Open up your placement, scroll down, and we're going to see all the different areas where we can go ahead and insert this. So if you keep scrolling, you're going to see, keep scrolling down, we want inside the content, okay? And we have all those paragraphs where we wrote our review. We want to insert this after the 3rd paragraph, okay? So we're just going to say after the 3rd paragraph, please go ahead and display the pros and cons, okay? Now, one more thing that I want to do here is also tell it which custom post type to display this on. So we're going to click on display settings, show on, and when we scroll down, we're going to look for the single reviews. Here it is right here. All right, and now we are all set there. Now there is one more thing we need to do. We need to have a title for this that says pros and cons. So open up the list view. Okay, so here's our row layout, and we open that up. We have this section right over here, and then we have another row layout here as well. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and add, let's go ahead and add a title above this. Okay, so to do that, we're going to go ahead and click on the row that contains the table, click on the vertical ellipsis, and then click on insert before. We're going to do a / for an advanced text, and we want this to say pros and cons, and we can go ahead and center this title like that, and that looks pretty good. Okay, so it looks like we're pretty set. Maybe to make this a little bit nicer, we can go ahead and add a divider here. So let's add a separator, spacer divider. Okay, and let's go ahead and configure this. Click on the cogwheel. I'm going to set this to height of 20 pixels, and we want the color to be green, or actually let's just make it a dark color like so, and we'll make the divider height 5 pixels, 3 pixels, and the divider width can be 20%. All right, let's go ahead and update. And then let's go ahead and see how this works. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and exit out of this, go to our reviews, all reviews. Let's go to our Kadence review, click on edit, and we'll just grab a little bit of text here. Let's scroll down. All right, and we're going to go ahead and add some pros. So let's add let's add pros and everything and cons. So add, complete all the fields, okay? And then let's go ahead and click on update. All right, and then we view this review and we scroll down and we can see that our pros and cons has been inserted into our review, okay? Now, what happens though? Oh, and it kind of looks like this is a little bit misaligned, so I'll show you how we'll fix that. But what happens if you don't have 6 cons and 6 pros and 6 cons? What if you only have like 1 con or 2 con? Well, based on how this is set up, you would still have these items show up, right? So if I click on edit review for now, let's go here. And if I scroll down, and let's say I get rid of 2 of these cons, all right, let's get rid of 3 of them, okay? And I go ahead and click on update. And I view the review. If I scroll down, I'm still seeing these checkboxes here as well. So we're going to go ahead and fix that, and we're also going to fix this alignment as well, okay? So to be able to fix that, let's go ahead and go back to the actual template. I'm going to come over here to dashboard, go to appearance, elements, and we're going to open up the pros and cons table. Click on edit. Okay, here we are. And what we want to do is we want to do a conditional display for each one, okay? But before we do that, let's go ahead and fix the layout, okay? So it looked like there was some spacing right above the content itself, right above the information. So I'm going to go ahead and select this here, move over to the right. Let's go to the content settings, which is going to be the text settings right over here. And I'm looking to see if there's any margin or padding. So I'm going to go ahead and select the margin. I'm going to go ahead and add a 0 there. And then I'm going to go ahead and select the padding, and I'm also going to add a 0 here as well. Okay, so just making sure that there's no padding or margin interfering with anything. Okay, then the other thing that I want to take care of as well is I also want to make sure that the media icon itself doesn't have any additional padding on the bottom or the top. So I'm going to scroll up, look for the media settings, scroll down, and what we're looking for is the media padding. So I'm going to go ahead and 0 out the bottom, and the top is also zeroed out. And then let's go ahead and update that. And then let's just check it out. So let's come over here. Let's go to the dashboard. All reviews. View the cadence review, scroll down. All right, so we can now see that this is now aligned correctly. So we're going to go ahead and copy this and make sure that the style applies to all the different items in the list. Okay, so I'm going to come back here. Click on the info box, click on copy styles, find the corresponding boxes, paste the style there, paste the style there. I'm also going to paste the style here, and then go back and configure the background correctly. Okay, and then I'm going to copy this style and apply it to the corresponding items on the list that match its styling. All right, so all that's fixed. Then we're also going to do it here, fix this here as well. Okay, so I'm going to come over here, copy the style, and paste the style. Then I'm going to go ahead and fix the media settings. Make sure that the color is correct. So D8, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to do 4 zeros to give us the red that we're looking for. And make sure that the hover color is the same color. And then I'm going to go ahead and copy the style and apply it to all the corresponding ones. And then we need to do the same thing here as well. Fix the background. There we go. All right. And then we're going to copy this style and apply it to the other ones that correspond. Paste styles, okay? All right, so we've taken care of that. Next, we need to take care of the display condition. So I'm going to select the first pro item, and I'm going to come over here to the right-hand side, scroll down. We're going to go to our conditional display, open that up, click on Enable Conditional Display. And the conditional that we want is a post custom field, and the custom field that we want is the pros field. So we want to say if the pros field is not empty, then display this. Okay, so if the pros field is not empty, then display this. We're going to do the same thing for the second one. Open up the conditional display. And this time it's going to be pros field 2, not empty. Okay, and we're just going to go through and do it for all of them. And now let's do the same thing for the cons field. Open up conditional display, enable, and we want to post custom fields. And this time we want a con field. All right, so now we are done linking everything to a conditional display. Let's go ahead and click on Update. And then we're going to go back to our reviews page. And now when I refresh the screen, we can now see that only the cons that actually have content in them will display. Right? Same thing with the pros. If I come over here to Edit Review, and we scroll down, okay, if I delete some of these pros, so let's delete the pros field 6, pros field 5, click on Update, view the review, scroll up, we can now see that we only have the pros and cons that actually have content in them. Okay, and that will now give us a much more complete review page or review post. Okay, so we have everything that we need. We have the intro, we have the ratings, we have the actual overview, pros and cons, table of contents, call to action, and the rest of the content. And with that, that will conclude this tutorial on how to create a custom affiliate product review template and add it to your affiliate website or affiliate blog. Congratulations if you made it this far in the tutorial. You've learned a new skill, and I hope this helps you in your website development journey with Kadence. Hey, if you are new to the channel and you're just discovering this channel, please go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can get notified for the next time that I release in-depth tutorials like this one. And if you are already a subscriber, thank you very much for subscribing. I really appreciate your support. Please feel free to go ahead and like this video, comment on this video, and share this video with anyone who you think that it will benefit. And thank you very much again for watching this content, and I will see you in the next video.